So I'm not passionate about Bitcoin because passion entails emotion.
Okay.
I'm not emotional about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the best vehicle for money, period. That's it. That's a fact. Anybody that transacts and moves a lot of money, besides the discrepancy of price, aka price being correlated to USD, because we happen to live in a USD world, we're bound to it. If you think Bitcoin's going to disrupt US dollar in the next 30, 40, 50 years, like, you're just wrong. It's not going to be a thing. They could literally destroy Bitcoin if they truly wanted to overnight. But I think that it's a vehicle that is going to exist long term. Why? Because you can actually hold it. And that is the most valuable thing that Bitcoin has. It's not transparent. Bitcoin's ledger is not transparent. You can trace everything on Bitcoin, but you can hold your Bitcoin, and you can have your Bitcoin, and you can transact your own Bitcoin, and you can do things with Bitcoin that you can't do with other tokens because, one, they don't hold the same value. Two, they're deemed securities. They're not really money. Bitcoin is money. Anytime money is considered money in any jurisdiction, the IMF considers that legal tender. Where is Bitcoin considered money?
El Salvador.
Exactly. So Bitcoin, by law, internationally, is legal tender. So Bitcoin, by law, is the best money that we have in society. Now, this idea of central, why do I like it?
Yeah.
I like it because I have the ability to do whatever I want, wherever I want, however I want. Yeah, the purchasing power may differ, but that's simply because we're quantifying it in dollars. But this concept of centralization, this centralized economy, is a new concept. JP Morgan introduced this concept when banks were regional. So banks would operate at a state level, right? They would operate, if you fuck up your banking relationships in New Hampshire, you could go down to Florida and bank in Florida. It wouldn't be a big deal. But he introduced this concept of centralization, which is what? Conglomerating all the individual nodes so that you can manage them. Bitcoin is powerful because you can operate and transact with every node. Every individual on the system, you can interact with them. You can transact with them. It's not just the fact that you can transact. It's the fact that you can transact with anyone. That's what makes Bitcoin fucking unbelievable. One. Two, the fact that you can physically move any amounts of Bitcoin instantly. Physically, one flight, I can take $100 million worth of Bitcoin anywhere in the world. That's absolutely insane. So Bitcoin, to me, is the hardest money because it is programmed to be successful. Whether it becomes successful or not, it's determined to be tested because, once again, it's just a financial instrument. So financial instruments need adoption, financial instruments need faith, and financial instruments need trust. So if you look at what money needs in order for it to be money, trust, a means of exchange, and a store of value, Bitcoin meets the definition of money. So Bitcoin is money, but I don't see it as a passion, like, oh, I'm a Bitcoin. No. I am passionate about my survival. And if that means that Bitcoin is what I need to hold, which is what it looks like it's going to be, or something along this line of being outside the system, at least part of me, then that's what I'm going to do. Strategy.
I understand.
Bitcoin is a good part of the strategy.
But what's interesting is there's a lot of people that think Bitcoin was created by the CIA. A lot of people say that because Michael Saylor is actually so passionate about it and has, I think, over 150,000 coins, or MicroStrategy has, that, you know, he's CIA. I think it was Dan Penner who said that he believes that Satoshi Nakamoto is Vladimir Putin, and if that was ever revealed, it would be to all of our detriment. Do you have a take on the founder of Bitcoin? Do you think there's some kind of sinister founder behind it, or do you think it's genuinely programmed to be successful, to be for the people, by the people, and so on?
I mean, no offense to Dan Pena, but if you ask the man to turn on the computer, you can't do it.
There you go. Yeah.
So it's not just because you're an expert in one thing doesn't mean you're an expert in everything. And at the end of the day, it's like USDT, right? USDT right now is super safe. Why? Because there's plenty of liquidity. So from a risk reward ratio, you don't think USDT is not going to go to zero overnight. There's literally tens of billions of dollars of cash. Same thing with USDC. You never thought USDC was going to be depegged, but you didn't know that they were at the SVB bank and they got depegged. But then it repegged when they rebalanced their books. But the whole point is you need to be operating cross dimensions, cross currencies. We're going back to, if you want to be decentralized, you got to be moving all over the board, all over the board. You can't just be stuck with USD in one bank account. You're asking to get fucked.
Yeah, you have to diversify, and you have to literally decentralize yourself.
You have to decentralize yourself. Why? Because when you decentralize yourself, you decentralize your risk. It's like very simple concept of wealth preservation, which nobody talks about because everybody's trying to make money. But once you make the money, then you realize keeping it is even harder. So it's best to at least get some sort of preparation ahead of time.